Hello and welcome to my channel. As promised, this video is after the autism assessment. How did it go? What did we learn? Did it work for me on the video? Using the video? All those questions and more. Keep watching. So, you've had the first video that said about the lead up to it and the form filling and how I felt about actually going for the assessment, why I was going for the assessment. So Friday came, this Friday just gone, and we logged in and we fired up. You had to log in 10 minutes before the session so that the connections could work. You went into like a waiting room with music. That was fine. And we sat there and we had our drinks and we were ready. We had all our paperwork ready for any questions. So we were ready there. And a chappie came on and it was, oh, hello. And he was in a small corner of my machine and we were in another small corner, just about to see ourselves. Anyway, very nice chap. He explained what would happen, that he'd been reading the forms and we'd be going through them. And he'd be asking extra questions, and if there was anything, I could fill in that he was short of. And he said it could take, up to 3 hours, and you can take a break whenever you want, which was nice. I'd probably need a break within 3 hours. So there we go. So we get started. And I knew he was going to take notes, so he's sort of typing to the side, but he must have had another machine that he was reading all my forms on, because I sent it by email, so it was all electronic. And he was reading those, and every now and then you'd see him look over and he'd read a bit, and then he'd come back and ask me a question, and how do I deal with this, how do I deal with that? It was going swimmingly, it was fine, I was quite at ease, actually. Even though I had nice sweaty palms to my hands and I was fiddling a lot and looking everywhere, and I was pretty anxious, to say the least. But I got through it. I was a brave girl. Got through it. So then we kept chatting, and we got onto the subject of hobbies. Whoops. He said, "Oh, you do quite a lot of things, don't you? And you do them in excess." Yeah. I said, yes. I said, I'll do it in my craft room. Would you like a look? Oh, yes, please. He says so. Okay, how do we do this? So I get up, pick up the machine, and we go for a walk. Come into the craft room, and I'll show him around, virtually, obviously. And he saw the dollies, and he said, oh, do you make those? Yes. It's like, it's just something so natural to me. Of course I did, No, you do a lot, don't you? And it's very organised. Okay, that was good to see. I think it gave him a better insight to me. If anybody stood at my craft door and looked in, they'd say, oh, this is so Lynn. But it is me, and I love it in here. Obviously in here now, as you can tell. So that went well. And we chatted on some more. Then he asked John a couple of questions and he answered. I had warned John, so don't go on. He does tend to, bless him. But no, he was fine. So we answered questions there. And we're into it about an hour and a quarter. Just before, hour and a quarter. And he looked up and said, well, actually, I have no doubt whatsoever you are on the spectrum. Whoa, shock. That quick? Okay. He says, your form filling has been an eye-opener. Really? He says, because I colour-coded 2 of them, because you had one question, but in the one question you could have multiple answers. So I'd colour-coded every question and then every answer to match, clearly, through these 2 forms. And he said, nobody's ever done that before. He said, they've numbered them. He said, but colour coding is really helpful. Oh, okay. well done then. Was John's idea, but I had to do it online, so I had to do all the form filling. John's suggestion, he said, well, why don't you highlight it? Oh, okay. So we did. And it seemed to go down well. And he said to me, he said, have you done any research or any reading? Yes. Been on YouTube a lot. And I have like 6 books, autistic books. So what have you got? So one by one, I showed him the books. I said, oh yeah, got that. Oh, I haven't seen that one. I'll have to get myself that one. Oh, okay. And he said he did recommend a book. So that was good. It's on order at Amazon, like I would. So I'm waiting for that one to come through now to see. It's about the finding your tribe thing, you know. I suppose finding like people like me that would actually understand me. That'll take some doing. He also said, and we sort of said, did I have any questions? I said, well, what happens now? He said, well, because they're working from home, they're only meeting, you know, the group's only meeting once a month, which is the beginning of September now. It will be. So the reports won't be written until there's been the big chat. He said, but they'll come out after that. So, okay, 4 weeks to wait. If I've waited this long to be diagnosed, I can wait another 4 weeks for the bit of paper. Yeah, I know he said he has no doubt that I am on the spectrum. It's just having that piece of paper that says, yes, you are, and you are because of. I like paperwork. It's like with all my certificates. It wasn't just doing the courses, it was getting a certificate at the end. I love certificates. So, I want the report, and I should read that thoroughly. And I'll share it on here with you. Could be fun. So that'll be the next video lined up for what the report says. But for now, this one's about having the assessment and what came out of it. Now, I have a book, just the one. Well, no, just one of my books. And in this one, I sort of write letters to myself. So I'll read out this one to you. It says, my dearest Linny, that'd be me. Wow, what a day yesterday was. Emotional or what? Autism assessment? Yes. Now I have so many questions. How might school have been? How might my foster parents have been if they'd have known? Would social services have placed me better if they'd have known? Would I be able to sue two of my workplaces that bullied me if we'd have known? So that's why I am like I am. And actually, that's okay. I really don't have to fit in anymore. I just have to be me. My crafts are okay. My Bibles are okay. My obsessions are okay. I can stop trying to fight myself. Stop beating myself up because I can't do things, go places, join in all the time. It really doesn't matter. I might be quirky. Nice word. So I looked it up in the dictionary, as you would. And the answer was having or characterised by peculiar or unexpected traits or actions. Sounds about right. Weird, but in a good way. Eccentric, strange, bizarre. And then I went back to question it. There's lots of questions now. It's like, would it have been different? First marriage, that have been different. Work, that have been different. School, that have been different. Courses, acting on courses. Oh, I didn't like going on courses. Would that have been different if we'd have known? So the word came out and it said liberation. Knowledge is power. I am who I am. And that was just down on that bit. And then I even turned the page and I kept going on them, but there wasn't much. It was just 3 songs that came ping, 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 like they do. So one of them was I Want to Break Free by Queen. What am I breaking free from? I suppose the negativity that I've actually brought on myself. No, I don't have to. I'm not being awkward or strange or whatever. It's me. The next song was This Is Me, on The Greatest Showman. This is me. And the third one was I Am Who I Was Meant to Be by Susan Boyle. All three very strong songs, but they made sense. Well, they make sense. So what have I done since Friday? I sent a WhatsApp to both my boys to do it personally and just tell them what was going on, as a mum would. Then the next day I did a Facebook message to everybody that knows me on Facebook to say, actually, I'm not being awkward or off. I'm now on the Autistic Spectrum, and I have been all my life. So this is why I'm not being awkward. It was just, my brain is wired differently, and I have to accept that and stop fighting myself. So, of course, with the heat, even though it's so hot at the moment, I've still been crocheting. I can't do my big blanket because that's just too big to put on my lap. There were some little bits that I did. I did the big chain beforehand, but this was a small chain. Still tactile. Still something to mess with. We have a mauve one. We have a green one, as we would. Look at that wool. Whoa, that is so fluffy. And we have another mauve one, but different wool. Whether I put anything on them, I've no idea. Whether I just leave them as chains, which is hardly possible. They're fine like that. Oh, and I did a book, as I would. Some beads, loads of beads. Inside, printed off, I matter. It's Molly for me. Be able to laugh at yourself. Which I do. I'm different, but in a good way. More self-love needed. I can be me. Don't have to pretend. Be me and be happy about that. It's about my happiness. And it's okay to be different. Because now I hope to find inner peace. Back of the book, one of my little ones, handmade by Linda, as it was. Still into the beads. Still like to fuss with them. So there you have it, in a nutshell. Well, in nearly 14 minutes. That was the assessment. All we can do now is wait for the paperwork, go through that and see what they have to say. From this moment on, life moves forward. I wonder where it'll go. I wonder what will happen now. Now I have all this knowledge that I'm okay as I am. Don't have to conform. Do what I want when I want. It's very liberating. Hope you've enjoyed this video on the assessment process. Hope you give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. There's always more to come on whatever subject. There's always more. Do take care. Stay safe. I'm trying to stay cool in this heat. Bye bye for now.